Hi, in this video I'm going to show how to use the address selection feature that we implemented here. It's available in purchase orders, invoices, and quotes where you have to select the account and or contact and vendor, and it basically permits you to use to decide where you want to save the information. Okay, I'm going to pick here a purchase order from our demo site, demo information, and I'm going to edit this record, and I'm going to select the vendor here. Let's make this a little smaller, and I'll bring this up. Okay, here we have, down here I have the address information block where we can see the billing address and the shipping address. And when I select a vendor, it asks me if I want to fill in the billing address or the shipping address. Note that vendors only has one address, so I put it in one place or I put it in the other. By default, the billing address is selected, so if I press the select button, I get that vendor selected and it filled in the billing address. If I select another, do this again, and select another vendor and flip this around, I should get the shipping address filled in and the billing address will be left untouched. Okay, so as you can see, very easily we can select where we want the billing address or the vendor address, excuse me, to go. Okay, exactly the same feature is available and in the other modules, okay, the other inventory modules. I'm opening a quote here, and basically the same thing. I'm going to open up an organization, make the screen a little smaller so that we can see here the shipping and the billing address. Okay, so again, I click on one of these organizations. By default, billing address is filled in, the shipping address isn't. Again, if I click on the select button, okay, that didn't work. It filled in this one, and it selected the organization, and if I did the reverse, it would work also. Okay, I'm going to do it now again, but I'm going to select both of them, pick this one and select both of them, and it overwrites both of them. Okay, that's basically what the feature's for, so you can decide where you want to save the information. But I'm going to take this a little step further, and I'm going to think that maybe you want your default selections in that address box different. I mean, you want to tweak that to your needs. Okay, so I'm going to jump over here to the global variables module, and here we have, I'm going to add a new one. We have here in the documentation, we have two global variables. One is the billing address checked, which decides for when you select an account, contact, and vendor if that address is checked or not. Okay, by default this one is true, and we should have another one down here. These are ordered alphabetically. We should have one down here which is called shipping address, and again it's basically the same. Okay, so I'm gonna select this billing address and I'm gonna say that I want it not selected, and then I'm going to create another one. Let's create another one for the shipping address, and I'm going to say that I want that one selected. Okay, so now if I go back to my purchase order and I select a new vendor, you see that I have these flipped. Okay, so with that global variable, I'm able to tweak this and set it as I want by default. Exactly the same way, if I go over to the quote and do this, it will be also flipped, I suppose. Okay, now let's take that just another step further and say, okay, yeah, but I want when I select an organization, I want to have them both filled, and I want to leave the purchase or the vendor as it is with the shipping address. Okay, so we come over here to the global variables, and we have two now. We have two. We have the billing address set to 0 and the shipping address. Okay, I want to select both of them on on the account, on the organization. Okay, so what I do is I get this one, which is defaulted to 0, and I say that I want it in the module list. Let's open the whole record, probably easier to see. Okay, it has this variable. I want it to apply only to the modules selected in the list. If none is selected, it applies to all. But in this case, in this case, I want it to be applied only to vendors. And now I duplicate this one and say that I want it set to 1, which is the default value for organizations. And now I should be able to jump over here to the quotes, try to open an organization, and get both of them filled in, while a vendor still has only the shipping address. Perfect. While if we jump over here to the purchase order and open this one up, it still fills in only the shipping address. Okay, so not only is this feature nice because you can tweak exactly how you want, where you want to save the information, but also with the use of these two global variables, we can tweak the default settings just to any need, and you could even take that further because the global variables are per user, so you could have one users doing it one way and others doing it the other way. Well, thanks for watching.